Hey, good morning, everyone. Hey, Russ McCann coming to you live. We are on day number 4 of the 30 days live with Russ McCann. Hey, super excited about this. It's kind of a commitment I made to myself to be more committed to going live in social media. And we are live streaming right now over in Facebook and over in YouTube on my YouTube channel. And so if you're over there on YouTube, please do 2 things. One, subscribe so that you get notification of my lives, and drop in some comments and let me know where you're coming in from. I always love that. So we are live. Predominantly the audience is over on Facebook for some reason. So hey, that just means we need more followers over on YouTube, right? So if you're with us live today and you want to go to my YouTube channel and subscribe, all you have to do, they've got this new thing called YouTube handles, and it's at Russ McCann. So the @ sign and then Russ McCann, and guess what? You're going to go right to our YouTube channel and you can subscribe there. So, hey, good morning, Patty. Hey, by the way, for everybody that's in here live this morning, what's neat about this technology is I can actually see your comments. Now, I can't hear you, but I can see your comments. So if you want to drop in where you're coming in from, I know yesterday we were doing the weather report. We were trying to get what the temperature was in your part of the country. So we don't have to do that again today. We determined that I was really bad at being the weatherman. I think I predicted it was going to be in the 20s in North Dakota, and it was like in the 70s. So do not rely on me for the weather report at all. But good morning, everyone, and welcome to Facebook Live with Russ McCann. I guess I shouldn't say Facebook Live. It's 30 days live with Russ McCann. So anyway, super excited you're here. We're going to have a little bit of fun today. We're going to actually do a little bit of work as well. For many of you, you already know that I'm a health coach, and I help people focus on priorities, helping them become the dominant force in their life, focusing on health. So we want to make sure that we're eating right, sleeping right, drinking water, staying engaged, being positive, being focused, creating the life that we want, and none of that stinking thinking, right? So no more stinking thinking. And you know what, I think sometimes we get into this thought that, we're just destined to be unhealthy, or, we have to take these medications. I'm not advocating you taking yourself off medications. Make sure the doctor does that. But, a lot of times there's a lot we can do to control our overall health and well-being. And it can start by a couple of really simple things. We're going to talk about a couple of those today in my tips section of 30 Days Live with Russ. So just wanted to kind of warm up the crowd a little bit. If you are in Facebook or over on YouTube, please drop in some comments. I need your love. I need your feedback. I need interaction. It's what feeds my soul. My love language is affirmations, right? So if you come on and you go say, hey, Russ, you're great. Hey, I love you. Hey, could you do me a favor? You're always so good at that. You know what? I'm going to bend over backwards. We were talking yesterday about Denise manipulating me through her knowledge that affirmations are my love language. It's okay. She's my wife and she can do that, right? So anyway, it's always fun when you feel the love from your family and all of your friends as well. So hopefully right now it's November 4th. So that's really good about me keeping track of the 30 days live, because today is day number 4 because I started on November 1st. Maybe that was a smart move. So it's November 4th. You know what? We're going to be right on Thanksgiving and right on Christmas and into the new year before we know it, right? And so I'm going to actually just move kind of right into my topic for the day and not stall too much. And that is, I want to kind of ask you, what are your 60-day goals? And what I mean by that is really what are you working on? What is your focus to become better, to really improve your life, to create the life you want? Sometimes it's relationship goals, spending more time with the kids, shoring up the finances before the end of the year. Sometimes it's working on health. Sometimes it's working on a project or trying to accomplish something at work. And so I'd love it if you would drop in the chat, whether you're live or in recording, even if you're listening to this replay and recording, drop in your 60-day goals. because a lot can get accomplished in 60 days. I can't remember, one of the great football coaches, might have been Vince Lombardi, said if every day you get 1% better, that at the end of 100 days you will be a completely different person. I truly believe that. That certainly 60 days turns into 90, and another 10 we can make it 100. And so there's a lot that we can accomplish by doing 1% better each and every day towards our goal. And so what I wanted to do today is to talk a little bit about this technique that I use with my clients called structural dynamics, or structural tension, or the creative orientation. I like that name or title. Structural tension sounds ominous, does it not? Like, oh, there's all that structure and all that tension. That can't be good. And so anyway, I love it. So Patty put in here, and she just put in her goals, continuing my walking 2 to 3 miles a day, even on the bad weather days, by using my treadmill. Hey, that is a fabulous goal, Patty. And I think what I like about that so much is that's very, very doable. That is definitely something that you can accomplish. And then I've got Liz from Texas. I love that, Russ McCann. Hey, you know what? We always love it when we get comments. And so, yeah, 1% better every day can really develop an amazing life. So let's get into the structural dynamics a little bit. And what structural dynamics, or the creative orientation, it's come out of really the life's work of Robert Fritz. Robert Fritz and my mentor and coach and friend, Dr. Anderson, got together many years ago and started thinking about this process of how we can take somebody from where they're at now to where they ultimately want to be, what they want to create, and then lay out a plan, a process, so that people can, one step, one day at a time, move towards their goal. And guess what? At the end of it, accomplish the goal. Now, I know Patty. Patty is going to, get outside. She's going to walk 2 to 3 miles a day. She's getting in her steps. Patty, maybe drop in the comment. I know Patty has been on her health journey as one of the clients in our program. And I believe, Patty, if I remember correctly, we got together last week. I think you were down over 80 pounds. And so maybe drop in the comment how much weight you've lost, what that's meant to you, and maybe some things that you're able to do now that you have not yet been able to do in a long time. This will kind of correlate a little bit with our topic today. So I want to talk about this process called the creative orientation, structural tension, structural dynamics, because out of this work, a lot of the things that we do as coaches help people establish a goal, a vision, something that's attainable. You've heard about SMART goals, right? So they're specific, they're measurable, they're attainable, they're realistic, and they're time bound, right? That's a SMART goal. And so when I asked you the question is, what is your 60-day goal? What I'd like you to do is kind of proclaim that. You can proclaim that in the comments here. Write it down on a 3x5 note card, and tape it to your mirror every day there in your bathroom, or to your refrigerator. Somewhere where you go, you want to be very, very clear on what your vision is, because what's that phrase from Alice in Wonderland when Alice was asking the Cheshire Cat, which road to take? And the Cheshire Cat said, well, do you know where you're going? And she says, no, not really. And he said, well, then any road will do. Which means if you don't know where you're going, it doesn't matter which path you take, right? But so many of us want to be better. We want to be healthier. We want to thrive. We want to build meaningful relationships. We want to be happy, right? There's that word, happy. And so when you think about it, if you begin to set a vision of what that looks like for you, visualizing yourself having reached that goal, and then really establish very clear things about that goal, what it will look like when you achieve that goal, how you see yourself when you reach that goal. Kind of imagine yourself as if you have already accomplished that goal. So in our scenario, where will you be in 90 days? On January 3rd, I think that's, or 60 days. I think on January 3rd is 60 days from today. On January 3rd, what will your life look like as it relates to this goal? So having a very clear goal is critical. And then also as important as the goal is being very clear and honest about your current reality. Because a lot of times we live in a little bit of a fantasy as it relates to us, our performance, our well-being, our health. And you know what? We're really not, we can't, when somebody says, how are you doing? We say, hey, we're doing fine. We're doing well, doing great. But down behind the shield, we're struggling, right? So we don't want to show people what it looks like. And guess what? You don't have to show people what your current reality is. You can just be very aware of what that is. And your current reality is, where do you stand today in relationship to that goal? Man, I'm not there. I've got some work to do, right? And that's the tension that gets created when you have a vision and you have the current reality. And when you stretch that out and realize, ooh, I got to go to work. It's like a rubber band. It's the tension that creates energy. And then when you make the decision to get started, pretty soon you begin working closer and closer to your goal. And so I'm going to kind of show you, again, kind of what that looks like. So when you're looking at it, I'd love it if you just would take an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, write your goal up at the top of it, and write down your current reality at the very bottom, and draw these lines along with the date and work from the bottom up, because you're working from your current reality towards your vision, towards the very thing that you're creating, right? And it requires action. It requires specific actions to be done at a certain time in order to meet your goal. Now, if you don't have a goal and you don't have steps, and you know what, any road will take you there. In other words, you don't really have to do anything. The problem is we're going to be at the same spot 60 days from now than we are today, and wondering, man, I wish we would have done something back when Russ was talking about that on 30 Days Live with Russ, right? So from the very bottom up, I like to take a couple of easy steps at the beginning to get into the habit of doing the action and it's maybe something that you can just complete in the first day of this decision to move towards that goal. And so I'm going to show you kind of what that would look like. So again, being very clear. So let's talk about it from a health perspective. And this can work with finances. My goal is to earn X amount of money, or to pay off a certain amount of debt, or to have a stronger relationship with a spouse. It doesn't have to be around health, although I think if you had a structural tension for health and finances and relationships and community, there's a lot that can get accomplished, right? If you had these multiple creative orientation charts, right? So let's talk about the goal. So if my goal is to lose 30 pounds in the next 60 days, I want to feel amazing. I'm going to fit into some clothes. I'm going to start sleeping better. In other words, I'm already visualizing what it's going to look like when I reach that goal. But guess what? My current reality is I'm 160 pounds. I don't feel very well. I'm low on energy, and I don't sleep very well. Now, if you dwell in your current reality and you focus on all of the negative things that are going on in your current reality, you'll stay in your current reality. But when you set your path towards creating what it is you want and get into motion, then man, this is powerful. So if you're watching this in live and recording, please give me some comments on what this can do for you. So I'm just going to kind of lay out a little bit of what maybe a structural tension chart might look like as it relates to this particular goal and this particular current reality. And so at the very bottom, maybe the very first task I'm going to do is I'm going to go to bed by 9:30 every night starting tonight. That's something that I can do. I'm going to set my alarm. I'm going to set my alarm at 9 o'clock to remind me to go to bed so that I can take that extra half an hour, turn down the lights, adjust the temperature, turn off the TV, go charge the phone, put it away. Don't put it in the bedroom where you get up in the middle of the night and grab it. These are kind of the habits of healthy sleep. Okay, so that's, number one. And then number two is to drink at least 64 ounces of water starting today. So everybody can drink 64 ounces of water. 16 ounces when you first get up, 16 ounces by 9 o'clock. Now you got 32 in, and guess what? A glass at lunch, a glass at dinner, no big deal. You got 64 ounces of water in. And if you begin to do these 2 steps every day for a few days, you're going to get into a new routine, a new habit, right? And the next one might be reconnect with your coach. If you have a health coach, reach out to them, right? And that's something you can do today. Reach out to them and say, you know what, I've kind of fallen off. I've gotten a little lazy with my plan. Will you help me get back on track? And they can be part of the accountability that goes into meeting this goal that I have, right? So the next one might be to start my healthy eating plan by November 8th. So I'm going to figure that out with my coach. I'm going to make sure that I have everything that I need. I'm going to plan out a few meals. I might even do a little bit of meal prep. And guess what? Starting November 8th, I'm going to start my healthy eating plan and go all the way through the end of the year. Another step might be to organize the fridge and pantry, right? Get rid of all the tempting foods. Get rid of the Haagen-Dazs, get rid of the Ben & Jerry's, get rid of the Hershey's Kisses, kind of hidden behind the cookie jar. Get rid of all those foods that you hide because when they're there, you're going to know they're there. They're going to speak to you, and you're going to be tempted to go open up that drawer, open up that pantry, and grab the handful of chips, right? So again, that's something you can do right away. But if you just say, look, I'm going to start with water and sleep, and I'm going to reach out to my coach, but starting next week, I'm going to really get this thing dialed in. Maybe starting a walking program on November 15th, right? So I'm going to just take this in baby steps. If you do too much all at one time, guess what? It'll be overwhelming and you won't stick to it. But if you incorporate new habits each and every day, then guess what? You'll be able to do that. And then, I think another really good thing to do, especially as it relates to these kinds of goals, is to track your daily actions. Did you drink all your water? Did you do your meals? What did you eat? Tracking your intake. Did you get your steps in? Did you get a good night's rest? So that if you have a slip up, it's not the end of the world. You don't start over. You just realize that, oh, that's a new habit I still need to work on. So guess what? Tomorrow's another day and I'm going to keep going, right? And if you do these things progressively and meet the timeline and deadlines that you lay out for yourself, I have no doubt that by the time 60 days rolls around, you're going to be at or pretty darn close to the goal that you set for yourself. And so this is what we call the creative orientation, structural dynamics, and it's just that simple. So anyway, hopefully that was helpful. So I asked Patty to bring on a comment. I'm going to bring that comment on because she's done amazing. And Patty lost 72 pounds, and she's gone from size 18. Look at that, 18 to a size 6, and I can now walk. Get on the floor with my young grandkids, and I'm off my diabetic medication. Patty, I am so proud of you because it took a little bit of effort. It took some daily actions for you to do that, right? I'm gonna actually. There's a good picture of Patty. So I'm gonna actually enlarge this a little bit and leave it on screen. I'm gonna put it up over my forehead, right? Because I think it's really important for people to realize that being healthy is something you can do by just making a few simple steps. So anyway, so that's 30 days with Russ McCann doing Facebook Live. So I think day number 1, I talked about my lawn and the varmints that are eating up the grass and chewing things up, even though I just reseeded it. That really irritated me. I think day number 2, we focused a little bit on healthy eating. And then yesterday we talked about the 8 steps to improving your life and certainly having a great week. And so we laid out some steps for that. So if you missed day 1, 2, and 3, you can go over on Facebook or over on YouTube to the YouTube channel and watch all of those. Sometimes they're entertaining, sometimes they're informational, but my goal in these 30 days is to provide hope and health and positivity and something to look forward to, a focus on improving your life each and every day. And we may be bringing on some guests. We may be doing some cooking. You never know what Russ is going to do during a Facebook Live, and you never know who's going to join me, because once in a while Denise pops in here from the other room, and you know what? When Denise gets here, all bets are off, because we have the Russ and Denise show and we love each other a lot, and we have a lot of fun together. And so I'm sure before the 30 days are out, we're going to get Denise in here on camera, and we're going to have a little bit of fun with you too. So anyway, I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Today is Friday. It's follow-up Friday for a lot of people. It's trying to wind down the week so that you can set up the weekend. I would just say the more you get done now today, the more relaxed you can be over the weekend. Remember, it was our goal earlier in the week to be very productive with the time that we have, so that by the time we get to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we can wind down, shut down, and enjoy life a little bit more. So anyway, super, super excited that you're here. You have an amazing rest of the day. I'm actually going to be going live tomorrow and Sunday. I will probably not be doing it at 10 o'clock. We have a couple of other commitments, but I will post on my Facebook page and over on YouTube the time of which I will go live later on today. So if you want to set your calendar around it, I'd love to have you be a part of it. And remember, it's kind of fun because we do get a chance, to post comments right here on stage, right here on real time. And you know what? Whether you're on Facebook or you're in YouTube, you can join the conversation. So it's always a great time. Looking forward to day number 5, which is tomorrow on November 5th. You guys go out and make it an amazing day.